Alright. Shades of Sildy. Ellie would like to share with you a shocking new turn in the Phantom Thief case. Okay, sure. I was wondering when you'd show up, Mahali. I hope you haven't made any plans for the night, because we've got a situation on our hands. Well, luckily, my health decided to switch around and say, why not? Remember our good friend, the Phantom Thief? Well, it seems he's decided to branch out from burglary to cold-blooded murder. Say what now? If the rumors are to be believed, he's claimed 3 victims already, all influential members of Uldan society. Mr. Manyfaces has been kind enough to leave one of his signature calling cards at every scene, leaving no doubt as to the identity of the murderer. The message is always the same. The weight of 5 corpses will bring the scales of justice to balance. More riddles. Not that you'll hear me complaining. No, the only thing my readers like more than a good mystery is a good murder mystery. Ever since the story broke the Mithril's eye, it's been selling like Pond's cakes. The only rub is that it's left me no time to look into the thief's last message. Until now, that is. Shall we, Mahali? The tin treasure of Ulda, was it? If there's anyone who can shed some light on this, it's you-know-who. To Sunsilk Tapestries! Okay, I gotta remember where the fuck that is. Sunsilk Tapestries. Hold on. It is an Ulda. Okay, so we just gotta leave. Gotta head this way. Doo-doo-doo-doo. They're the Phantom Thieves Joker. LOL! Final Fantasy XIV predicted it before it even came out! That's funny. Alright. Zoom out a little bit. Welcome to Ulda, to those new to Final Fantasy XIV. By the way, would you like to join Final Fantasy? They just reopened their accounts, so you can join again. Alright, Wymond. Hello.
As long as you don't flood the servers again.
Yeah, don't plug the servers. Well, now, if it ain't my favorite venture, and my favorite Mithril Eye report along with her. Tell me, what have I done to deserve the pleasure of your company today? I see. As much as I'd like to help 2 lovely ladies, I'm afraid you found old Wyman at a loss. Old Eye has more than his fair share of treasures, hidden and otherwise. I reckon that our phantom friend could be just about any of them. I can tell you this much, though. Whatever the thief's got his eyes on, it's got the Sultan sworn in the right dither. Word has it they've formed a regiment of their best and brightest to safeguard the royal vaults from this very threat. The Sultan sworn like to be forthcoming with information, but it's the only lead they've got. Come on, Mahali. That's Ellie. The Sultan sworn like to be forthcoming with information, but it's the only lead we've got. Come on, Mahali. I say it's time you paid a visit to the heart of the sworn. Oh, hold up there, Ellie. I ain't generally the worrying type, but you may want to think twice before getting yourself involved in this. A man in my business develops a nose for danger, and this time the stench is something fierce. You're a reporter, Ellie, and a fine one at that. Don't put that pretty neck of yours at risk trying to play hero. Your concern is touching, but I can assure you that I am ready for whatever dangers lies ahead. Besides, being a reporter is about more than selling papers. I have a duty to seek out the truth. And shut up! And convey it to the people. Come, Holly, time is of the essence. Alright. So we gotta go to the Scholar's Walk, which is down this way. Alright. Welcome back. Hope you're not. Oh, we literally just started. Apparently Tasha's favorite character appears in here, so she's excited as hell. So recap what's going on. We're following the misdeeds of a phantom thief, and we're trying to catch him before he does any misdeeds. But unfortunately, he has apparently murdered 3 people. Oh, Lord. Alright. Where is... This is the burial chamber. Where is... What? This is not where I... What? Fuck! I forgot that there are layers to... I forgot. We're gonna go up to Scholar's Walk, which I think is on the 2nd floor.
It looks like it's in the Alchemist Guild, maybe?
Oh, okay.
That'd be a good way to go.
Yeah, there's an Ethernet shard right over here. I forgot that there are levels to this fucking place! So... Yep. Yeah. So, Alchemist Guild. So, seek out information. Who has information? Someone here has information. That person has information. Humphrey? Humphrey. All only authorized personnel are allowed... Thou bugging me with a broadsword. It's the Gentleman of Light's adventuring companion and that catty but cute reporter for the Mithril Eye. Well, well. If it isn't the self-styled Warrior of Light, tell me, what tall tales did you spin to the Sultan Sword recruited to land yourself in this position? Only the 12's honest truth, miss. Seeing that Gentleman of Light standing tall and triumphant that day, it moved me. To the depths of my soul. Like, I vowed to put aside my sketchy past and serve the realm like my old hero, Master Hildibrand. The Sultan's Sword were impressed with my commitment and sword arm, and they gladly welcomed me to their ranks. Wait, don't tell me. You've come to assist Master Hildibrand in this investigation, haven't you? Why did you say so sooner? It's the least I could do to help the ladies who united me with my role model. You'll be wanting to speak with Phyllis. She is one of the Sworn's best, and something of a history buff, I'd seem. When she'd heard the thief was targeting the 4 relics of Belladia, she personally stepped forward and volunteered to lead the investigation. If anyone has information you're looking for, it'd be her. Wait here while I get her. I trust you not to touch anything, aye? Is this the character? No. Okay, this is not the character.
In that case, I'm gonna swing at everything with my axe.
Oh, hi. A pleasure to meet you, Phyllis. My name is Ellie from the Mithril Eye. As you may have heard, we were researching the Phantom Thief case, and would appreciate any information that may shed light on recent events. The pleasure is mine, Miss Ellie, and if I'm not mistaken, that would make your companion friend here one Mahali Sondar, yes? As well as Axrius and Rain Fallen.
I like you're not even saying my last name either.
I don't... Devolos? Axrius... The hell? I'm an asshole. You know Mahali. As any regular reader of the Mithril Eye would. I must confess to being something of an unabashed fan of your work. Though it hardly benefits my station to say this, I was secretly hoping that you would show up to assist the investigation. Doubtless the Inspector, too, will also welcome a helping hand. Of course, this fucking... The Sultan swore the elite of Idilda's elite. I can only hope they prove more competent than the bungling mercenaries I've dealt with thus far. Inspector Briardian! Always one step ahead of us. Miss Ellie, Mahali, a moment if you would. Right there, very good. Now face me and don't move an ilm. What? We're not moving?
The fuck is an ilm?
Inspector, what is that in your... What? Demasking dust. A formula of my own devising that allows us to see right through the thief's disguises. Analyzing the mass left behind at Vesper Bay, I was able to identify its composition and synthesize a counter-agent that would dissolve the disguise whilst leaving the wearer's face intact. In any event, it would appear the two of you are indeed who you appear. I don't think the Phantom Thief could look as voluptuous as me, but anyways. Fair enough. Brilliant, Inspector. The Phantom Thieves pulled the wool over our eyes for the last time. I fear it won't be so simple. The ingredients necessary to produce the dust are exceedingly rare. Even with the entire resources of the Sultan's Sword at our disposal, we were only able to produce a limited supply.
So guess who's gonna get it?
I see. Well, I suppose it's better than nothing. That said, have you been able to identify the thief's next target? The hidden treasure of Ulda, last of the 4 relics of the Belladia? I fear not. I've poured through the histories time and again, but the only mention of these 4 relics is a vague reference in an old prophecy. Most serious scholars consider it little more than a fairy tale. When darkness falls and hope fades to despair, 4 warriors born of light shall descend in righteous glare. The legend goes on to describe 4 sacred artifacts, one each possessed by these 4 Beldalian heroes, but makes no mention as to their appearance or nature. Right? 3 times we've tried to identify the thief's target, and 3 times has he foiled us by making off with something else entirely. Needless speculation will only play to the fiend's strengths. All artifacts of Beldalian origin have been sealed within the royal vault, and a regiment of our finest assigned to its protection. I furnished all the guards with a supply of demasking dust and instructed them to be on the lookout for any suspicious personages. The blackguard will be in chains before he can lay a dirty hand on the vault doors, let alone the treasures within. You have my word, our word, my lady. That's a man. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I'm going to keep the voice because I fucked up. Sorry! I'm sorry! But there are even more disturbing matters at hand. No, doubtless you've heard the recent rash of murders perpetrated by our quarry. The Sultan's word have launched an investigation, but the truth of the matter is we have been far too occupied with the defense of the vaults to make any meaningful progress. We would be most grateful of any assistance you could offer. A lady asks, and a gentleman answers! Oh dear. Hello, Hildibrand. You sexy beast. Ha ha ha! My goodness. Cast all word from your heart, my lady. Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, has arrived to set right what is wrong and bring the wicked to justice. Oh, hi. And this must be the domestic dust that is the talk of the palace. But you need not waste your supply on me, Inspector. I assure you that I am exactly who I claim to be. A shame that... Inspector Hildibrand, we were not expecting you, but your services are most welcome. I will share all I know about the recent murderers. Okay, well, yeah. The killer has claimed 3 victims thus far. The head of a publishing consortium, a high-ranking government official, and an influential scholar. Other than that, they were all influential figures in their respective circles. We can identify no common threads connecting the 3. Oh, this will prove a most satisfying case to crack indeed! And one of the methods of killing, conked over the head with cudgel, gutted with a great sword, strangled with a subligar, perhaps? I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm dumb. I'm afraid that we've identified no pattern. In any event, the murder plots the deaths of 2 more even as we speak. We must take action, and quick. Understood, my lady. Clues may be scarce, but worry not. My well-renowned powers of deduction are more than up to the task. I will see this burglar turned butcher delivered to justice. Your presence is heartening indeed, Inspector Hildibrand. Friends, please take this damascene dust with you. I fear we can spare but a single sachet, but I trust you will put it to good use. The G is pronounced J, so it's pronounced cudgel? Cudgel?
Cudgel.
Cudgel, thank you. Cudgel, thank you.
At least that's how I think it's pronounced.
Ellie. Come to accompany me on yet another case, friend. I like your gusto, but if you're auditioning to be my assistant, I fear that role's already been filled most ably. Still, a gentleman welcomes the support of all of his admirers. I shall henceforth name you thusly, Mahali, my ever-loyal associate! I mean, you could also... call me your confidant. That's also a confidant. And now, my ever-loyal associates, the investigation calls. I propose that we begin by inspecting the site at which the most recent victim has met its demise. My questioning about the palace has revealed that the scholar's body was not found far from the 80 sins of Sasamo. Even the most circumspect of criminals cannot help but leave behind clues that will not elude my gaze. Friends, let us be off!
What about the buys?
Pray alert me should you see anyone suspicious, my ever-loyal associate. We shall put Miss Felice's demasking dust to good use. Oh, okay. Alright, the 80 Sins of Sasamo, which is in Western Thenlin. Okay, cool. Alright, so let's get on out of here. To Western Thenlin, Gate of the Sultana. Right? Right. Alright. Am I bringing out the carriage?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll bring out the carriage. Alright, carriage is out. I did pay for it. Finland? 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 Hildibrand. Alright, so... oh. It's right there. Wonderful.
We did it!
We did it!
Everybody's work!
I got my money's worth right there. I got my money's worth. Jesus Christ. Flowers. Yes, it is all becoming clear now. Our phantom killer is a florist who, in his hurry to escape, carelessly mislaid his wares. Or it could be a sign. It could be a clue within itself, a lead. You go with florist?
I'll go with evil florist.
Evil florist. Is this the character? Okay. Just what do you think you're doing, eh? Eh? I have no idea who this voice is. I'm the one who put those flowers there to honor the memory of me old poor boy. You dare defile his memory, eh? Eh? 1,000 pardons, my lady. Please accept my most sincere condolences of your loss. I am Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire. I swear to you, by my own dear mother's name, that your son's killer will be brought to justice. As I was just saying, these flowers were clearly placed here by the family of the deceased, which can only mean... Leave this place! Run away while you still can, Run far, far away! Run, or I'll turn you into a zombie, just like my poor boy! Wait, zombie? We're bringing back the zombie bit? A living person turned into a zombie. Nonsense. Not nonsense, my boy. History! Or have you not heard of the horrors of Sildi? I hold a sibling nation, against which we waged war centuries ago. Much blood was shed by both sides, but I speak of the far greater horrors than death and unholy droughts brewed by the Sildan alchemist, one with the power to turn the living into the undead, and that his nation might command an army of mindless, deathless soldiers, the traitor's spurn. That it turned my poor boy into a heap of rotting flesh and ran him through. But you won't hear that from the Sultan's ward. Thal alone knows why, but they whisked the body away before I could so much as pay me last respects. The traitor's spurn. I'd heard the stories, but I never thought them true. To be able to procure such a frightening thing. Just who are we dealing with here? A Sildan, I'm sure of it. Only a Sildan would know the recipe. But the last remnants of Sildi died 4 years ago, you say? Oh, they did! Yeah. He calls himself the Phantom Thief, he does. But did it ever occur to ye that he might be an honest to God phantom? Heard the tales from my own great-great-grandma, I did. And for the 4 relics of Bildia, and the powers they hold, the powers to exact justice. The spectre of Sildi has returned to wreak vengeance on us. Woe unto us all! Have the 4 warriors of light forsaken us? My dear boy, if only you'd become traitor like your father, if only you'd kept your nose out of those history books, and never so much as breathe the accursed name of Sildi. But you did, and now we're doomed!
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Bye! Alrighty then. I was just like, alrighty then. Oh my god. That bleeding old sun's here somewhere. I can feel it in the follicles. Those most potent hair tonic in the realm is seen. Aye, that was for all of a fortnight before my flowing locks fell out all over again. Just as I was chatting up a lovely lass at the quicksand, just to twist the knife and X-ray them. Mountebank, charlatan! I'll find that so-called inspector and his sorry band, and pull every last strand of hair from their bleeding skulls! Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that the hair stuff didn't work, my dude. At times like this, therapist should be an RPG class! Or as Brian says, therapy in my fantasy game? Sibling strife. Hildibrand is on something, or at least he thinks he is. It is all becoming clear to me now. That dear old woman's testimony is confirmed, of which I suspected from the start. Like a zombie picking away at its rotting flesh, Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, has peeled away the foul scab of uncertainty to reveal the truth within. Open your ears and feast your minds on the fruits of my flawless seduction. A phantom is a phantom indeed. A wayward spirit caught between the realm of the living and the dead for nigh on centuries since meeting a tragic end of the battlefield. As such, our course of action is clear. We must placiate this tortured soul, that it might abandon its vengeful vendetta, and travel to the next life in peace. But what is the true nature of the spectre's grievances? Without his knowledge, we cannot hope to assuage his rancor. I thought this was the game, and that was the game with the funny dances. Let us begin our search of the Thaumaturg's Guild. Doubtless the tomes there contain a wealth of knowledge of the ill blood between sibling nations. Notwithstanding the abject stupidity of everything else that... no, I'm sorry, that's Brian. My bad. Notwithstanding the abject stupidity of everything else that came out of your mouth, some knowledge of Sildi might serve us well. Go research as you will, and do take as much time as you need. Oh yeah, thank you for the animal skins!
I thought you could before.
I appreciate that. You can count on me, Inspector Bryden. Whatever knowledge is to be gleaned from the guilds, it shall not escape my inspector's eye. Okay, now I'm getting my adrenaline. Now I'm getting my adrenaline on getting better. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Alright. The Thaumaturg's Guild. Alright. We don't need the carriage. We can literally just walk up the goddamn... It's just right there. We can just walk up the goddamn stairs. Alright, let's go ahead and talk to this guy.
Researching the ancient feud between Ulda and Sildi, are you? Most impressive. Young people these days show so little interest in learning from the past. Anyhow, I am pleased to say I have more than a passing familiarity with ancient history. To understand the history of the sibling nations, one must go back further still to the birth of our dear mother nation, Belladia. The 5th astral era was an age of untold wonders, where the arcane arts burgeoned and the great civilizations that commanded such powers flourished. This age of enlightenment will not last, however. Power bred avarice, and avarice bred resentment. It culminated into the War of the Magi, don't care how you pronounce it, which brought the great floods of the 6th umbral calamity, which in turn swallowed once proud nations and left a battered wasteland in its wake. Mages were reviled and persecuted for having caused this catastrophe, with many forced to leave their homelands or face death. It was a small band of those survivors that found their way to the Fenland, where they would found the nation of Belladia some 8 centuries agone. Ah, imagine. A government of mages, by mages, and for mages! What wonders might have been wrought if Balladian civilization survived to this very day? Ah, this was not to be.
You're Finland again? Finland! Alright. Alright. Gather information. Alright, so. Erasmus. You don't say. Not every day someone comes to our house to research Sildi. As a fellow student of history, though, I am more than welcome to conversation. Belladian civilization flourished in its relative peace until twin sons were born to the royal family. The two were fierce rivals, and when they came of age and their father passed, each one claimed that he was the rightful heir to the throne. With neither son willing to relinquish his claim, they agreed to split their kingdom in two, forming the twin nations of Ulda and Sildi. But not unlike the two proud princes, the sibling nations developed a penchant for rivalry. Fair enough. Alright. Greetings, traveler. You will learn of the war between Ulda and the fallen Sultanate of Sildi. It would be my pleasure to enlighten you. The two city-states coexisted for several generations until the bad blood between them boiled over, culminating on outright war. You might deduce from the presence of the state of affairs, Ulda emerged victorious, leaving its once proud sibling nation in smoldering ruins. As the histories tell it, the battles fought between the sister nations were the stuff of nightmares. In a desperate attempt to overcome Ulda's superior numbers, Sildian alchemists devised the most horrific stratagem, employing a frightful formula known as the Traitor's Spurn. They had brought their fallen warriors back as undead soldiers. Some theories have it that they've employed the potion on those of the living who were too weak and wounded to fight. Sends shivers up the spine, just think about it, no? It is truly a crowning glory of our fair nation that our forebears were able to emerge victorious against these horrors. My goodness. Kokobuki. Your name is Kokobuki. What's that you say? You seek knowledge of the bad blood between Ulda and Sildi. I suppose I can spare a moment or two, but take good notes, I'm not fond of repeating myself. 2 scales, one of gold, one of silver. The gold of Ulda weighing prosperity and power. the silver of Sildi, weighing knowledge and power. But the power sought by the two nations differed greatly. Yes, greatly indeed. The power wrought by Uldan prosperity was that of justice and good, while the power wrought by Sildan knowledge was horrific beyond belief. The power to rip the living soul out of a man and render him a mindless killing machine. On this matter, the histories are clear. Riddle me this, my friend. Who writes the histories? And what does this say of the words written in? Yes. What the hell is that noise? I am on Twitch! That made me question my standing with TOS! I missed something, god damn it! As one example, did you know that the war against Sildi, Uldan, and Amalja warriors fought side by side? Likely you did not. And neither did I until I encountered the fated passage in an ancient text buried deep within our archives. And yet, in these histories read by the populace, you will see no mention of this fascinating fact. Might it be that someone at some time deemed this particular truth less inconvenient? I've said enough. Huh. Interesting. I also love that there's Kokobuki, Kokobyog, Kokobaigo, Kokobari, Kokoboha, Kokobezi, Kokokoko. Coco. Katie redeeming an emote only. Prayer to a snake god. I don't know. That's a knife. That's not a snake. What the fuck am I talking about? My goodness. My ever-loyal associate, tell me, what have you learned from your questioning of the squalors in these halls? Indeed. As it happens, I have learned much the same. Let us take a moment to review and allow my peerless powers of deduction work their magic. A war of succession divides the great civilization of Belladia, giving rise to sibling nations of Ulda and Sildi. The two nations coexist for some generations until ill blood boils over, culminating in outright war. Daunted by Ulda's superior military might, Sildi employs their advanced alchemical knowledge for horrific ends, transforming their own citizens alive and dead into a fearsome undead legion. Ah, yes, I believe I have it. The facts of hand have led me to one unassailable conclusion. Our phantom thief is the descendant of a doomed Sildi, who seeks vengeance upon those who reduced his countrymen to slavering zombies. To pacify his soul and send him peacefully into the next world, there is but one course of action. We must find the Sildian statesman who conceived this dreadful stratagem and have him apologize to the thief in person for the suffering he has wrought. A brilliant plan. Perhaps you'd like to go and find yourself a shovel and dig this statesman out of his grave yourself. Leaving aside this nonsense of spirit specters, it appears increasingly likely that our quarry shares some link to Sildi. His garish garb is no doubt meant to evoke the silver scales of the fallen sulfate. This Sildian connection would also serve to explain the rare knowledge of Beldian art relics our thief clearly possesses. But what of the murder victims? What common thread amongst them could have incurred the ire of our adversary? The few people in town spoke of a man who sighted calling upon the victims in the past days. Those who saw him said he had the most frightening air about him. Wait. Yes, it's coming to me. Of course! My keen investigator senses ring out with a voice loud and clear. This man Miss Ellie speaks of just might know something. You really should stop thinking so hard. You're like to strain a blood muscle. Miss Ellie, who is this man and where might we find him? My sources identified the man as Guguria, a traveling merchant known to frequent Horizon. Shall we pay him a visit? Alright, sounds good.